everyone, it's Rockline, and today we're talking about season 1 episode 11 of Supernatural Scarecrow. If you are new here, I'm doing like a recap review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. This episode had a lot, and it kind of starts off with John calling them, and I totally forgot this too because this wasn't his technically first episode back. It's his first episode back where he's contacting the boys. But I totally forgot about his actual first scene back, which was in Home. And then I thought his next scene was like the vampire episode, but I guess it was this episode. I totally forgot that he calls them. So he calls them, tells them to stop looking. Now we're not halfway, well, actually episode 11 is halfway through the season. So we're halfway through season 1. You know, the reason they started going on this road trip was to find their dad, and now their dad is like, don't look for me. So it's kind of not like it's a plot twist, but it's like kind of like a turning point in the season where their dad is saying like, don't look for me. So now they're not necessarily looking for their dad. They are still technically looking for their dad because he's the reason, and he's like looking for the thing that killed their mom, which he reveals is the demon. But it's like they're still hunting, they're still in this life. So it's kind of like, it makes sense because now they're kind of settled in, they're hunting monsters, blah, 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 but now their dad can reveal to them. And then what this episode did, which was the first time we've seen this thus far, is the boys being separated. They're going on their own, and they have two different storylines. They have two different paths. They're not solving this by themselves together. They're doing their own thing, and Dean is, you know, with his hunting, with his life, and Sam, you know, he's going to California to find his dad. So it's not like he's doing something separate. Like, it's not like he's going back to school, even though that was in California. But yeah, it's really our first time yet seeing them separated, and we can see differences in that, and we can see kind of more about like their own personality because they don't have the other one to lean on, which we kind of seen with Dean with like when he's trying to, you know, do this hunt, how like he tells the couple to leave and they don't listen to him, but you know, he knows that they would listen to Sam, and kind of his approach. And then we also, this is our first time we see like Dean like eat some pie, talk about some pie, which is like becomes a really big part of like his personality. And as I said, I talked about before, you know, adding little elements to their personality. So this whole Scarecrow thing, like, I've seen this in so many other things, and they did it in Smallville too. They did it in season 10 of Smallville, which, oh my god, wait. I'm like, oh, they did season 10 of Smallville. I just assumed in my head that means that Smallville did it first. But no, because this is season 1 of Supernatural. So it was 2006. And the last season of Smallville was like 2010, 2011. So Supernatural actually did it first. They did the Scarecrow thing first. But I feel like other shows and like other lores have done the Scarecrow. And I mean, in all of this, it's all like urban legend. So having the Scarecrow makes sense. Just like the other urban legends, but I feel like this is an urban legend more that we see in like a lot of different shows than Hookman or Bloody Mary, just because like the whole sacrifice thing. So I feel like I've seen this in so many other shows as well, because it's like, you know, the sacrifice of humans so that crops or whatever can grow. So a little bit unoriginal, but that's what they did in season 1, but maybe it was original for its time. I can't remember. I just feel like I've seen this and other things. I think it's crazy too that like the uncle and the aunt is gonna like kill their niece. Like they're gonna sacrifice her. Like, I just think that's so crazy. Like, there was no other like girls around that age in the town. Like, it's just so bizarre. But I feel like this is the episode that needed to happen, and it was kind of a hunt, which right away he recognized the Scarecrow. He right away like kind of knew what he was dealing with, where it was like it kind of was, they didn't need something that was too heavy for the separation because they already had the separation, and they could have like, you know, they make it a little bit lighthearted. Also, it's so like old-fashioned, and it's like a time before they had like, you know, computers or research we did now that, you know, back then they used to like go to like professors at colleges and ask them because it's just so crazy. Also, we talk about Monster of the Week, and this was technically a god. They at one point thought it was a ghost, and I feel like they could have done it a ghost, they could have gone down that path. But I think they didn't because they've done ghosts the last couple of episodes and they obviously need to change it up. And so I guess it makes sense as a god, but it was just overall like an urban legend that they did. And yeah, also it's kind of really crazy at the end, like the Scarecrow like kills the aunt and uncle and then they like weren't able to save them and it was just like the next day. So yeah, getting into Sam and Meg. So obviously before the ending, you're kind of like, okay, like what is happening, you know, like what's going on here? Like, okay, maybe this could be another love interest, like I don't know. But it kind of introduces like another character that actually becomes a recurring character and that we see more often. But I think it was kind of like a way for like Sam to get out his release, and so like he's not alone for the entire episode. They like needed someone else there, and I think it was like the right way to introduce this demon. I mean, as I said, we're halfway through the season, you know, we're turning points. They need to add something more, so they add like their first real demon, and obviously it's so shocking at the end, and it kind of gets, you know, you learn more about the lore of demons. How they make phone calls is by human blood. I don't know how much later on in the series they use that, but they must have. So I think the episode did a good job of showing us a taste of what Sam and Dean are like apart and how they work better as a team, because at the end, obviously Sam saves Dean, and it kind of also made sense with what the episode's about. It's about a couple, so like it wouldn't have made, I feel like it felt perfectly, where it's like if it was the two of them, like maybe it would have been off anyway. Anyway, those are my thoughts and feelings about the Scarecrow episode, and I guess I got a lot of into about like how they're, you know, turning points and how this episode was different from other episodes, more so than I thought I was. But like that's what we're talking about here. We're really analyzing these episodes. It was still very enjoyable, and I already know what the episode's about, the next one, and I really am excited. So comment below your thoughts about Scarecrow. Watch 12, yeah, it's gonna be 12 for next week. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye. Not next week, what am I saying? Just the next video. But comment your thoughts about Scarecrow below, and bye.